Hi, I'm Kimberly Heisland, Paparazzi Independent Consultant 16591. I'm excited to share with you a couple small tips and tricks that I use before going on Facebook Live for my regular parties. I love to sell on Facebook Live. Video is so fun, especially when it's live, because it's very interactive. I get to know my customers, they get to know me. I get to answer questions in real time, and they get to see how our jewelry looks in a little bit better perspective than just still photos. So a couple things I get asked very frequently is, what do I do to be prepared? How do I stay organized? You know, when you're a paparazzi girl, you've got jewelry, and so then the thing is, now what? And I'm here to tell you that doing a Facebook Live video, you don't have to have every tip and trick out there to be successful. Start small, and then as you go, you'll find the things that work best for you, and you'll be able to make those upgrades and tweaks as you go. You don't have to invest in crazy professional lighting to start. You don't have to invest in expensive displays, an expensive camera, or anything like that. You can literally just start with things that you already have around the house. There are very small things that I have done as I've progressed in doing Facebook Lives to make my life a little easier, but I am still using a lot of the same fundamental simple techniques that I first started with, and I'm having a ton of success. So here are a few of the things that I do to be organized before I go live on Facebook and what I do during. First of all, I have my jewelry boards filled. All right, I use these boards for everything. I use them to take to vendor events and home parties, and of course my Facebook Lives. So when it comes to making sure that I'm ready, I have things that I lay out in front of me. I'm staring at a camera now, and it is on a tripod that was really inexpensive actually, but it's in a tripod, and so that tripod is standing on a table. So on the table in front of me, I have some of the smaller pieces, a few bracelets, a pile of rings. It's very simple. And then I have all this jewelry behind me. It makes a great backdrop, okay? So that way, if someone is watching the video for the very first time and they're not sure what they saw in their newsfeed from a share, they can tell that there is something happening here, right? So even if they didn't read the description, or they jump in a moment where maybe I'm not directly holding up something to sell, they can tell that I'm selling jewelry because there's jewelry behind me. So I do have these set up ahead of time, and that will help me stay organized because I have jewelry. And then also, not everything that I'm just selling that night is what's on here. I have other pieces as well, and it makes it easy for if I have any requests. You know, if the party's going fantastic, but people are looking for other things, maybe they need a special necklace for a fun night, or I've got color requests happening. It's so easy because it's within reach. It's right here, and I don't have to leave the camera area to be able to grab it. So that's my first tip, being organized and having everything with you in front of you, because if you walk away to go grab something and go rifle through things, then it's going to make it really hard for your audience to want to stay with you during the live, especially if you have a lot of first-time shoppers. They aren't sure what's happening, especially if they jump on and no one's there. The other thing I do, and this is just what works for me and has been from the very beginning, I go ahead and have a notebook ready, and I record sales in my notebook as I go. So when a customer says that they want something, and I actually do generally number my items, so I do have numbers from the Paparazzi back office. They're fantastic because they're both regular and reverse numbers. So on camera, it'll show the correct way for the viewer on Facebook, but it's always also the correct way for me too. Love them. So I assign numbers to things, and when they say, hey, I want number, 67, not only do I put it in their cart, which is literally a basket. For my regular VIPers, I already have cards with their names on it that I will throw in their baskets. But if I have a first-time viewer, then I just make sure I've got scrap paper. My favorite thing is Post-it notes. And I just go ahead and write, and I can stick it directly in the basket or clip it too. And then let's say that they want this cutie right here that was number 67 for the night. I pop it in and they have it in here. This is their live basket as we go, but I also go ahead and record it. I record the name of the person, and I just go ahead and do some tick marks next to, necklace, bracelet, ring, earring as I'm showing. And that way, during the party or at the end of the party, if there are any discrepancies or questions, like let's say that my customer, I have marked that they have 5 things here, but I actually only have 4 in this one, then I've made a mistake somewhere and I can fix it. And then when I have another customer's basket that shows the discrepancy, it's probably that I accidentally set a piece because I'm human. These things happen. I don't have a helper while I'm live. I have found that not just relying on what I put in the basket, but also having that notebook helps me tremendously. I feel confident in what I'm doing. If someone asks me during the live, you know, how many pieces am I at? You know, that kind of thing, I can answer. If I'm doing a mystery hostess, I can have a really quick tally of where we're at and say, hey, we've already gotten up to 30 pieces. That means mystery hostess is already going to be earning 3 pieces. Let's see if we can get to the next one, that kind of stuff. If I didn't have my notebook, I wouldn't be able to do that because I wouldn't be able to just look at all the baskets and eyeball it fast enough. So that helps me tremendously. And then if I do have an issue with what I've put in the basket, it's so much easier for me to figure out where I may have made a mistake, or maybe there wasn't some, you know, I just maybe need clarification somewhere. I know how I can figure it out, either by replaying my own video or just reaching out to the customer, but it does help to have it written down, and it doesn't take much time at all. Plus, then I have record, an actual paper record of my sales, which helps when it comes to calculating how things are going in your business. I do send out invoices, so I've got my awesome system for that, but it's nice to have my backup. I'm just one of those people that likes to have that detail. It makes my life a lot easier. It's less for me to worry about later. Couple other things that I do is I have my little girl here that I use quite often. She was the first of the beauties that have joined my team. She is my helper on Facebook. If I'm showing something that I can't easily take on and off my head or hold up to my ears or whatever the case may be, then she is my model, because the beauty of doing a live video to sell things is that you don't have to rely on just that one still image shot. You can show how things lay. It's easier to tell the weight and the texture of something on a live video when you can hear how it sounds, see how it lays, things like that. And you can see color a lot truer as well, depending on your lighting, of course. But it's nice to be able to have a mannequin like this, to be able to really display things in an extra way to ensure that your customers know what they're getting whenever they ask for it. Yes, she could be easier to use if she did not have a pattern on her, but I went inexpensive when I got my first one. So I can put a plain black or white shirt on this one, and it's so easy to see the details of the jewelry. But I actually have a second one and she is in all black. She just doesn't have a stand below, so I do hold her. She is lightweight, it's really easy. But what I love about this one is that when I'm not doing live videos, then I can use this on a tabletop display to add a lot of drama to my vendor events and home parties. So that's why I have one with and one without. This one could hang, but she just is so cute that she's props up perfect on a table. So those are my helpers. I don't have live people helpers, but I have my models. And then lastly, a little bit of detail on this. This board is what I use for all types of events that I do. So I'm going to do another video here in a minute on how this is set up. But just know that if you have a system to where your jewelry is with you, in front of you, it's within reach, and you're not having to step off camera and have those awkward moments of nothing, it's going to make your lives go a lot easier. So those are just a few of my tricks. Last but not least, yes, a lighting kit is fantastic and it can be a life changer, but they can also be a little expensive. So don't feel like you have to do that right away. A well-placed lamp helps tremendously. Natural lighting, if you can do a live during the daytime, helps tremendously. But if you're not doing it during the daytime because your customer base wants to shop at night while they're settling down for the evening, like mine generally do, having a lamp with a daylight bulb makes a world of difference. That's what makes the colors come through truer, and it helps relieve a lot of the shadowing that you'll see in a poorly lit video. And someone is much more likely to stick around if they can actually see what's going on instead of it looking like you're actually shooting in your basement, even if you are. All right, so there's a few of my tricks and tips that have helped me along the way of keeping everything that I do super low budget, because hello, I'm a real girl, a real mom making real money, but that means I'm smart with my money. And we all have a budget, right? So these are the things that I've been doing since the very beginning that have helped me be successful. They were not expensive at all. And yes, I can continue to tweak and invest and do things that make my life simpler. But at the same time, some of these very inexpensive things have worked so well why change it? It's working for me and it'll work for you too. So I hope that helps. Thanks everybody. I'll be back soon with another video. Bye.